Since it was announced back in 2016, theme park fans everywhere were excited to see what Disney would come up with for the new Beauty and the Beast ride at Tokyo Disneyland. In 2018, the Disney Parks channel uploaded a sneak peek of the ride, showcasing the mind-blowing animatronics Imagineers created for this ride. The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast officially opens on September 28th of this year, but there are full ride-through videos already on YouTube from channels like Disneyfile and Magia Disney. And the ride looks fantastic. So today, we're going to be talking about this ride and its impressive animatronics. The Queue and Opening Scene Animatronics. When the Oriental Land Company announced the expansion plans for Tokyo Disneyland's Fantasyland, they talked about how guests would be able to immerse themselves in the world of Beauty and the Beast, not only with the ride itself, but also being able to stroll through Belle's Village, which includes Maurice's Cottage, Gaston's Fountain, restaurants, and shops. But honestly, the main attraction of this area is the beautiful castle and the ride that it houses. When entering the pre-show, guests find themselves inside the Beast Castle, and atop the stairs we see the iconic stained glass window where the Beast story is told by the narrator. The window changes as the story progresses. As soon as the Enchantress places the curse on the prince, the rose appears, and we can see an animatronic beast. This is the Beast animatronic that many of us saw in the Imagineering story. The Beast comes out and sees the enchanted rose. After this, on the other side of the castle, an animatronic Belle appears. This animatronic is beautiful and very complex. It was first featured in the sneak peek that Disney Parks uploaded back in 2018. Imagineers worked closely with the artists and animators from Walt Disney Animation Studios, some of which even worked on the original 1991 film. They did so they could use their references and then engineer, build, and program the animatronics so they could look as closely as the originals as they could. And they did a fantastic job. The rest of the queue takes place inside the castle. Guests go through some rooms and hallways. In one of these hallways, we can peek into a room where we see the Beast silhouette, talking to Lumiere and Cogsworth animatronics. We can only catch a glimpse of these small and cute animatronics, but they're pretty cool. As guests continue walking along the queue, we can see an animated prop of Chef Bouche, the castle's head chef. After this, we are ready for our journey. Be Our Guest Scene Animatronics. This ride has a trackless system, where guests board a teacup vehicle that is programmed to dance along to the film's beloved soundtrack. This is achieved thanks to the synchronized vehicle with the animated props, animatronics, and elements that we find in the ride scenes. The first scene we enter is the Be Our Guest scene. Here, the teacup takes us into the castle's dining room for the iconic scene. We see an amazing and very articulated Lumiere animatronic, who proudly presents our dinner. The table lights up so that we can see various animated props of flower pots and napkins. At the end of the table, an animatronic Belle holds a menu and dances along to the song. Right in front of her, on the table, we see Mrs. Potts dancing along to the song also. Our teacups turn around, and we see more dishes dancing around inside a cabinet. As soon as we turn again, the whole room lights up, and more animated props appear at the table. We see many dishes, champagne bottles, a huge cake that grows in size with the music, Fifi and the rest of the Feather Duster girls, Cogsworth stuck inside Jell-O, and even Chip swimming inside a punch bowl. This is such a beautiful scene, and probably the most amazing scene of the whole ride, in our opinion. Something There animatronics. Now we enter the Something There scene. This is a significant scene in the movie because it is precisely the moment when Belle starts falling in love with the Beast, and it has one of the best songs. So it was, of course, an iconic scene that had to appear in the ride. Our teacups dance around a snowy room, where on one side, we can see a full-sized and very impressive animatronic Beast, holding a bird and standing on a balcony inside the castle. We continue dancing around until we reach the other side. We arrive in front of a Belle animatronic, this time wearing her fancy pink winter dress and cape. She's standing next to Philippe and glancing at the Beast. Both of these animatronics appeared before in the Disney Park sneak peek, but it is pretty cool seeing them now in their final state and surroundings. It is very impressive to see all the work that Imagineers put into these animatronics, and how they went from the computer-generated 3D models to the life-size and complex animatronics we get to see moving so fluidly in this ride. There's another adorable detail in this scene. As our teacups keep dancing around the room, we see that Beast has lots of birds resting on his arms now, instead of only one like he had at the beginning of the scene. The Balcony animatronics and Battle of the Castle scene. This next scene is very short but sweet. For the ride, Imagineers decided to skip the whole Ballroom scene. Instead, we enter the room where we see Belle and Beast standing on the castle's balcony. They're looking outside at the sky, and a shooting star appears. This is a charming scene, and while the animatronics are looking away from us, we can see that their movements are very fluid and impressive. But Belle and Beast are not the only animatronics in this scene. On the right side of the balcony, we see Lumiere and Cogsworth. On the other side, Mrs. Potts and Chip. They appear to be singing and looking at Belle and Beast. The curtains of the balcony close, and we go directly to the mob scene. There was a huge missed opportunity here because there is no Gaston animatronic in this ride. Instead, we hear him and the mob singing, and their silhouettes appear outside the castle's window. This is a very short scene. Our teacups turn, and we catch a glimpse of Madame Bouche as an animated prop, holding a door and keeping the angry mob outside. When the teacups move again and we enter the West Wing, where we see the Beast slashed portrait in the Enchanted Rose, losing its last petal. The transformation scene animatronics. Next, we come into the transformation scene. Here we see the Beast lying down with an animatronic Belle sitting and crying next to him. Beams of light begin to fall from the sky just as in the movie, and the Beast rises up into the air wrapped in his cloak, and magically begins to turn while light is surrounding him, and lightning strikes behind them. Suddenly, the Beast disappears, and we can see the Prince appear standing in front of Belle. This is a pretty cool Pepper's Ghost effect. The whole scene lights up, and the gloom surrounding the castle disappears, revealing a blue sky. The castle is transformed, with the gargoyles changing into cherubs. We continue moving inside the castle and seeing how it is all changing inside and outside. This scene is pretty cool thanks to the transformation effect and projection that changes the whole atmosphere, and the animatronics are again outstanding. Ballroom end scene animatronics. Next, we finally enter the ballroom. This is the iconic scene that we all wanted to experience since the ride was announced. And while we were probably all expecting that it would be the Tale as Old as Time scene with Belle dancing with the Beast instead of the final scene of the movie, Imagineers didn't fail to deliver. The animatronics from this scene are probably the most fantastic animatronics, not only on this ride, but arguably of any classic Disney dark ride. Our teacups enter the ballroom and dance around with the music. On one side of the room, we can see a now human Mrs. Potts carrying the also human Chip, and Sultan is right next to them, now in his dog form. They are seen dancing to the music. On the other side of the room, Lumiere, Cogsworth, and Fifi are also in their human forms, dancing and watching. The huge windows in the background show a beautiful scenery that changes from night to day, and right in the middle of the room, we see Belle and the Prince dancing. These animatronics are so impressive. You can see them dancing and even moving around and lifting their feet. The movement looks so fluid and real, and they're so beautiful. Imagineers did an outstanding job creating all these animatronics. Their movements, expressions, and designs are awe-inspiring, and we are truly thankful that they created them with mechanical faces for their expressions, instead of the projection screen faces that some of the recent animatronics have. But at the same time, the ride in all feels like an animatronic showcase. Some of the scenes feel a little empty, and it sometimes has a lack of scenery and props. The trackless system is very cool, and having the teapots dance along the music is a cute detail. But we would have preferred having more spectacular scenery inside the dark ride than having the trackless system. But that doesn't take away from the spectacular job. The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast is a beautiful attraction, and a worthy attraction for this beloved animated classic. You can go ahead and watch the whole ride in the channels we mentioned. We'll leave a link in the description. Please go check it out and let us know what you think. We seriously can't wait to experience it for ourselves. Meanwhile, you can start planning your next magical vacation with our friends from PixieVacations.com. They will help you plan your perfect vacation to any Disney or Universal park, specifically tailored to your vacation style and budget. And working with a Pixie is completely free. So talk with them to make the best out of your next vacation. See you next time.